Okay, somebody asked about this question, so we'll put it together and send it out. Find the exact value of the expression without the use of a calculator. Wouldn't help you anyway because the cosecant, unless you know how to figure that out. But so we're going to look at the inside here. We look at tangent, inverse tangent of square root of 3 over 3. So I go with this, and I'm not sure if the Rivers method works well or at all in this guy, because we don't need to change that. That's one of the angles that one of the operations we do know fairly well. So I think of tangent as the tangent of an angle being equal to y over x. So that helps to remind me that tangent is the ratio of two legs of the triangle, specifically the y leg, or the height, divided by the horizontal movement, or the adjacent leg. If this is my angle, and I know that I'm in the first quadrant, how do I know that? Because the inverse tangent function only gives me values between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So I can't be over here where the other angle, where this number would be positive. This provides a negative tangent, and this provides a negative tangent. So I know that I'm in this quadrant over here. Okay? So that's why I drew my triangle in this manner. So this is my y leg, or my opposite leg, and this is my x leg, or my adjacent leg. And of course, this is my hypotenuse. If I know that this value is the square root of 3 over 3, if I take the tangent of some angle, then I know that this side over here is the square root of 3, or I can think of it as, and I can think of this leg having the length of 3. And if I can find the hypotenuse, then I can tell you what the cosecant of that angle is without knowing what the angle itself is. So the square root of 3, using the Pythagorean theorem, squared, plus the length of the other leg squared, must equal the length of the hypotenuse squared. And so the square root of 3 squared is 3, plus the square of 3, which is 9. I get 12 equals h squared. And then that tells me that the hypotenuse has a length of plus or minus the square root of 12, which of course I'm going to disregard the negative and get positive square root of 12, which is simplified is the square root of 4 times 3, which is of course 2 radical 3. So now if I go and take the cosecant of this triangle, and I'll redraw the triangle, I know that I have a triangle that looks something like this. Theta's here, right angle, square root of 3, 3, and 2 times the square root of 3. Then I know that the cosecant of some angle, the one that I'm looking at, this angle here is tangent inverse radical 3 over 3, is equal to some value, and that value is going to be represented by the ratio of two legs. What legs? It's going to be the length of the hypotenuse divided by the length of the opposite leg. And so if I represent that with the values I have in the triangle to the left, I'm going to have 2 over radical 3 divided by radical 3, which is my opposite leg. The radical 3's divide and become 1, and I get the cosecant of the inverse tangent of radical 3 over 3 is 2.